Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. And available, of course, wherever podcasts can be found this weekend. Of course, we're going to be found across all platforms doing our watch along on the Twitch and on the YouTube. Evidently not Twitter, because I don't even know if that's going to be working.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious, the things that are happening.
Be a thing by the time the weekend rolls around.
Very strong possibility. You know, I dug up the old video of us yucking it up with the fellows over at Internet Today over the Ant-Man stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's still my favorite video that anybody ever put on Twitter. But yeah, hey, if Twitter falls apart, you know, everybody I noticed, Larson, on Twitter was saying, hey, you could find me on Instagram. I'm like, look, man, Instagram's great, I guess. It shows me some wildly shocking and inappropriate things without my consent. But like, come on, I don't need to see people's like sandwiches and stuff when that's not what I go to Twitter for. So Instagram isn't exactly what I'm going to go. But if you guys want to know where to find us, if we're not on Twitter anymore, we're here on the YouTube all the time. We got our Friendo Club channel as well. We got our predictions for Full Gear tonight. We've got right those are up available. Those are up right now. Tonight we've got a watch along all platforms. Overdrive, and that's the Impact pay-per-view. And then of course Smackdown and Full Gear Rampage.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's going to be more matches announced for the kickoff tomorrow.
I would actually be shocked if there weren't more matches.
Be weird if there's only one match on the kickoff tomorrow.
Yes.
A fun night tonight. Probably going to be around 3 hours or so, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and going on until Overdrive, which will probably coincide with Full Gear Rampage being over
I would
as
think so.
well. So come hang out with us there. What's up to the YouTube chat? Richie Lamar says, coming in from the Bronx, New York. What's up, Bronx? What's up, Twitch chat? What's up, everybody? On today's episode of Going In Raw, we've got NXT recap. We've got Impact recap with an extremely bloody main event.
Oh, wow, yeah.
AEW apparently has some concerns about one of our favorite wrestlers, Adam Cole Bebe. And before we get to the lead story, though, of course, it's Friday, Smackdown.
Oh, yeah.
Paul is going to be zooming in again, and this is very exciting because, you know, obviously Smackdown tonight, but Full Gear tomorrow. Maybe he'll have some words about Full Gear. Find out later on in the show. But Triple H, Paul Levesque, the King of Kings, the chief content across all WWE universe officer,
cerebral assassin, terrorizing the Connecticut Blue Blood.
That guy, all those people, he's going to be joining us later on in the show. I've got a lot of paperwork to do, so you're going to be taking that on once again.
Again, this paperwork. I don't know what this paperwork is.
Well, I got plenty. You don't do paperwork in your day-to-day life? You don't have like a lot of paperwork to do?
I do, but I don't do it while we're doing a show.
This is very important, though. This is like super important. If you had important paperwork like this, you would.
Hold on. Let me ask you, is this business paperwork relating to going in raw duties, or is this just renewing the registration on your car?
No, dude, it's going in raw, Friendo Club, new stuff. We're announcing a big new thing at Full Gear.
Well, also make sure you're not doing personal stuff on our time.
Whoa, hold on a second, Elon. You want me to be extremely hardcore for going in raw?
Well, while we're doing a show, why don't you
salute emoji for you.
pay in your parking tickets while I got to sit here talking to Paul Levesque.
You want the cops to come and take me away from my parking tickets? I think not. These are very important parking tickets.
Well, maybe just don't park illegally.
Well, that's another day for another discussion. So let's talk about our lead story, though.
Oh, yeah.
Hot heat.
So
much heat between CM Punk and AEW. What's going on?
So amidst rumors that AEW and CM Punk were negotiating a contract buyout following the events of Brawl Out, Colt Cabana answered an open challenge issued by Chris Jericho on the November 11th edition of November 2nd edition of Dynamite, And according to Dave Meltzer, Colt's return to AEW TV only amplified the heat.
Oh, so much
heat
it's
between
like
the company and its former two-time champ. Meltzer reported in the latest newsletter that, quote, Colt Cabana wrestling Chris Jericho only made things worse. As far as issues with the two sides, Punk remains adamant he had nothing to do with Cabana being gone. A lot of talent in AEW believes and insists differently and is openly talked about. Meltzer also mentions that bringing in Colt to face Jericho was a Tony Khan call and not, quote, a suggestion from someone else.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it all said and done? Isn't it's all done with? Like, how could he be more upset now?
I mean, I guess if the thing is that if they're still in the midst of negotiating buyout but haven't agreed on buyout, and the sticking point allegedly of negotiations was non-compete period.
We've gone through a whole AEW pay-per-view cycle. It's been an entire length of a pay-per-view, and they only do 4 a year. Why is this not just done? That's shocking to me.
Yeah, I agree, but maybe it's not. So also, Meltzer also talked about the possibility of Punk going to WWE should he and AEW agree on the terms of a buyout, saying, quote, we've asked about the potential for Punk here in WWE. It appears from a creative team standpoint, it's not positive because most of them follow what happened in AEW. However, they also recognize this is going to be a Levesque, McMahon, Nick Khan call. And even with some negative things said in interactions, if you're just talking business, it is something bigger than anything else they could create.
Yeah, you got to put all that aside. From a business standpoint, it's an absolute no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. As far as like locker room morale, you put him in a different locker room. That's what you do with that. You don't expect him to be infused into the DNA of your company like I feel Tony Khan did, if that's going to be an issue. But yeah, you do. Like, what, you think Brock hangs out backstage with everybody? No, Brock hangs out with Brock. You treat CM Punk the same way if all sides agree. If he wants to come in, if he wants to do this. Evidently he has no problem being in the public eye. He did that MMA commentary last weekend. So yeah, that's a no-brainer. Whether or not Punk would want to do that, or whether or not, I guess for some reason, Triple H wouldn't want to. I mean, we've always speculated that Triple H was never really CM Punk's number one biggest fan, but he's also a guy who seemingly wants to do the best kind of business he can for the company. And one thing he might have learned from Vince is, unless the bridge has been so severely burned that you literally can't do business with the person, he brought Warrior back like 2 times, you know?
Yeah. I mean, apparently Triple H was responsible for bringing Bruno.
Yeah.
Back to WWE, which, Bruno and Vince had a long-standing and long-term beef.
Yeah.
And Triple H, managed to patch that up. Yeah, I don't know. It remains to be seen. There's apparently, if there's no buyout in place yet, signed and whatnot, it's kind of a moot point until that happens. And if it's a situation where there's an extended no compete clause in there, heck, it could be. I mean, hell, he's going to be out for another 6 months, regardless with injury.
Yeah.
So like him having a Mania match probably just isn't in the cards. Him, maybe showing up for SummerSlam, maybe, but again, that depends on the no compete. If Tony Khan's like, no, it's like a year or something like that, that could still be a sticking point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They might be at, like you said, a stalemate. That's a distinct possibility. But yeah, I don't know. I again, one thing that we've sort of come to learn, and you and I have known this for a while, but when this kind of thing gets out, Punk's upset because, Colt, right? Well, who's it coming from? Who's saying it? What's their agenda? What's the deal with that? Is it Punk saying it? Is it Punk's camp saying it? Is it, so you do sort of have to keep, a bit of, an open mind as to, okay, well, what's the veracity of this?
Yeah.
But if it's true, if that's true, if Punk is texting, Nick Hausman or Meltzer or whatever saying, what is this shit? What am I watching right here? I don't know. I don't know why that'd be a big deal. It's like, bro, come on. You spent how long like burning the company down? Like while your boss sat next to you?
Yeah.
Like, why would you care about that? So I don't know. I guess we'll find out more maybe in the future. But during the customary pre-pay-per-view media call that Tony Khan usually puts on, we had one of those the other day, and he spoke highly of CM Punk's time in AEW, saying these transcripts come to you via Fightful. I have nothing but positive things to say about the contribution CM Punk has made in AEW on screen, and I certainly have a lot of positive things to say about the things he did in AEW to date, while adding, end quote, that he had no idea what Punk was going to say during his all-out media scrum tirade. He said this: "I don't want to comment beyond this, but you were sitting 5 feet, and I did not know. No, I did not know that Punk was going to go on a rant, but I will not comment beyond that, except to say I had Keith and Swerve coming up right after that, and I had Tony Storm after that, and I had important stuff to talk to them about." As far as why he didn't stop it on the spot. But this is the first time that he's commented, famously now with the Ariel Helwani interview. He didn't comment about his own state of mind or anything.
Yeah.
This is the first time that he said anything about that.
Yes.
There had been reports that Punk, and again, don't know the veracity of these, but there had been reports that Punk had indicated backstage that he had some words ready for the media scrum.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is claiming that he had no idea. And I have no reason not to believe Tony Khan here. I would actually be kind of shocked if Tony Khan knew that CM Punk was going to say this shit and sat there so uncomfortably next to him the entire time.
Well, much less knew he was going to say a bunch of stuff and be like, all right, Phil, have at it beforehand,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking too much into this. Looking at what Tony Khan had to say about Punk's contributions.
By all means, look too much into it. Yeah,
there seems to be a delineation here. So I have nothing but positive things to say about his contributions on screen. So that's what we saw as viewers of the show.
Yeah,
and I certainly have a lot of positive things to say about the things he did in AEW date. Is that a way to have some wiggle room there to say maybe he wasn't always pleasant backstage?
Oh yeah,
perhaps?
absolutely. Yeah. No, that's saying I've When somebody clearly doesn't say, "Oh man, I loved everything they did." Yeah. Oh yeah, I loved most of it.
Because usually I have nothing but positive things to say about the contribution so and so made on and off screen. Mm-hmm. If it was like across the board, just great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to make that delineation.
No, I agree. I don't think that's looking too much into it. I think he very carefully worded that. Sometimes he's not so careful with his words. But I think in this case, especially if this, extensive buyout negotiation is still going on, then he obviously has to be very careful. But it is interesting, given that it seems to still be going on, that he even said that. Mm-hmm. Maybe he wasn't happy himself with how that Ariel Helwani thing turned out. And maybe he turned to his lawyers after the fact and was like, okay, what can I say? Yeah. I mean, it's his company. After all, he was sitting up there. He should be at liberty to say something.
Mm-hmm. And for the sake of transparency into this investigation, there should be something,
Yeah.
But if the idea is possibly that they don't want to give Punk any added leverage in terms of negotiating this buyout, so they're just telling everybody, don't say anything about this.
Yeah, right.
Just don't talk about it, for the most part. Just say no comment. So that Punk doesn't get upset about something said in the press, and therefore, maybe digs his heels in even more on some aspect of these negotiations.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move to this, man. One of our favorite wrestlers, people, regardless. Adam Cole, Chugs. AEW is seemingly concerned about Adam Cole. So during yesterday's media call, Tony Khan was also asked about Adam Page's condition, the Hangman, after suffering a concussion during his AEW bout against Jon Moxley. Khan mentioned that Page was doing better, but there was no timetable for his return. While mentioning that comment in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer added that there was some serious concern for Adam Cole after suffering a concussion at Forbidden Door, saying Adam Cole's situation was never asked about, but it's very concerning since he's been out since June 26th in the four-way IWGP title match with Adam Page, Jay White, and Kazuchika Okada. A number of people have brought up being very concerned for him. This is something we've sort of heard percolating a little bit on the Twitter amongst various wrestling journalists, if you will. And And yeah, concussions are nothing to mess with. Obviously, the Chugs Army, the Chugs channel, still going strong.
Yeah.
We recommend, if you're a fan of video games at all, go check out Chugs. He's terrific.
Absolutely.
Just a great guy.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, look, dude, as far as I'm concerned, health comes first. But yeah, it'd be interesting to hear something a bit more official about that, given that as fans of the product, it'd be interesting to know, hey, is there any information we could get on that? But
yeah, so far nothing. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, take wrestlers and companies for that matter, putting the performer's health first and foremost is paramount. And, especially given how suddenly the match ended at Forbidden Door and how long he's been out. It's almost 5 months now.
That's right. Yeah.
It speaks apparently to the seriousness of the concussion.
Yeah.
And, who knows what his own concussion history is. Like we've seen with Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, he had to step away for years before he was cleared again to wrestle due to concussion issues, injury issues. So, we hope nothing but the best for Chugs. And hopefully he can get healthy. And if we see him back in the ring sometime soon, that's great. But first and foremost, want to be healthy.
Isn't there supposed to be a party stream at some point, like today or
some point
something?
This month?
Sometime soon.
Yeah.
I'm not really huge, on watching people play video games.
Yeah.
I prefer them to watch me play video games. Like NBA 2K or WWE 2K over at the MF Steve here Twitch channel. Go check that out. But no, they're all the little clips I've seen of them. They're awesome. They're hilarious.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's nice
the chemistry between the all of them is fantastic.
It's nice that the game is on board with them doing that.
Oh, it's Sunday. Sunday is a reunion.
Saturday or Sunday? What is it, Saturday?
Saturday,
Sunday.
Saturday.
Saturday or
Sunday.
Anyways, dude, before we get into Impact and NXT, let's go ahead and pay some bills, dude.
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here, friendos. This episode of Going in Raw is brought to you by BetterHelp. I've spoken about it a lot on the show, I know, but there was a time in my life where I kind of wish life came with a user manual because I was getting really overwhelmed by life's challenges and started dealing with severe anxiety. And it got to the point where I realized that I needed to go to therapy.
Yeah, man. Well, therapists are trained to assist you in figuring out the causes of challenging emotions and to help you learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the nearest thing to a user manual of the complex engine called you.
That's true, Steve. And while it took me a while to find someone I felt comfortable talking to, once I did, I was able to learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
Yeah, you just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist, and if things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. Couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
NXT this week, they announced Iron Survivor.
Yeah.
A convoluted mess of a match that seemed to be.
Do you understand this? The premise of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's King of the Mountain.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. With like some differences. Like King of the Mountain, Royal Rumble, kind of all mashed together.
Yeah.
The thing that made me laugh was when I saw the page of text explaining the rules. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to totally do a Deadline, the thing where you just have like literally a screen of text for the rules. Yeah. It's one thing to read it, on like a notes app or something like that. But then to visualize the poor son of a bitch who has to go in there and clack, all that stuff. Or I guess copy and paste and choose right font. And imagine that they're trying to make this any amount like design-wise, like work for television.
Yeah. Or it's just info dump. That's what it is.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I would think design or aesthetics would be secondary compared to getting 3 paragraphs of text in there so people try to have any opportunity to understand the rules of this thing.
Man, we were hovering near 400 viewers over on YouTube live, and then as soon as I said NXT, it went down to 368.
All right, we'll keep this quick.
Yeah, let's keep the NXT shit quick because I'd rather talk about Impact. So yeah, I mean the two big matches heading into NXT this week, of course, were two big title matches. We had Braun Breaker defending his NXT title against Joe Blow, Von Wagner, dumpster champion. Well, sorry, Von Wagner, it's not your day on this normal episode of NXT. Your title shot went to shit. He lost that particular match after a spear from Braun Breaker. I thought, you know what, though, all things considered, given that these are the two of the dudes that had signed in February of last year and were two of the more green wrestlers, them having a spotlight like this, and, you know, not one of them isn't like the veteran that can, you know, shepherd the match. They did all right. I thought this match wasn't as bad as it probably could have been. I thought this was a decent match.
The other title bout, the main event for the NXT Women's Championship, a last woman standing match between Alba Fire and Mandy Rose. You know, Alba managed to take Gigi and JC out of the equation for this bout. She got her one-to-one match against Mandy Rose, so she thought. At the end, Isla Dawn makes her NXT debut to push her off a ladder that Alba had set up next to the announce table, puts her through it. Mandy gets to her feet before the ref finishes the 10 count. Mandy retains, and it's at least the second, if not third time, Alba Fire probably had the title won before there's outside interference. So I don't know if this is just essentially Alba's story, where she has to get through like basically every challenge.
Oh, she's done with the title.
Probably.
Yeah. No, it's Mandy's story that they gotta find clever ways for her to hold on to that title, because God forbid she gets a clean win over somebody. Which I don't know, man. I guess if you hold on to the title, you hold on to the title. Same thing they do with Roman Reigns, and they call him the GOAT. So it is what it is. But no, I thought it was a killer match. I thought it was a really good match. And then moving Alba Fire over to Isla Dawn, I'm down with that. I think there's going to be some really good matches. I like how over the last year or so, the last little chunk of NXT UK, Isla Dawn was sort of changing her wrestling style a little bit to be a bit more like MMA style. Still with the theatrics and the supernatural stuff. They had that like Shadows match with Mako, which, by the way, where the hell is Mako Satomura?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But yeah, no, that's cool. It was cool to see Isla Dawn in NXT. I'm glad that more people from UK are coming over and getting some shine. So that's cool. We also had Braun Breaker's maybe like next challenger, but maybe not, because JD McDonough steps up to him after his match and was like, I'm never gonna be done with you. Yeah. But then later on, in what seemed to be kind of a de facto number one contenders match.
That's what these Iron Survivor challenges are. They're number one contender bouts.
Oh, okay.
They're not for the titles. They're number one contender bouts. So it'll probably be JD. You're talking about Apollo Crews beating JD on NXT, and Braun coming out to have a bit of a stare down with him. But you would think it'd be JD. It'll be Apollo Crews. Maybe Vaughn will try to get back into the picture. Maybe Ilya will be back in time.
Joe Blow
might wrestle. Then, yes, of course, the debuting Joe Blow.
Hey, what if Hank Walker said, I can't do it because of my throat right now. You know who should be in the Iron Eliminator Survivor? Uncle Howdy.
Oh, yes. Another title for Uncle Howdy. Give him three belts.
Collect them all. He is WWE. We
He
also
is.
had I'm just sort of, we're doing this a little different way, man. I'm not going to go through every goddamn segment.
We're just kind of hopscotching around here, more or less.
Zoe Stark explained herself, and it was convoluted as fuck.
Well, it was pretty much, I'm tired of carrying Nikita Lyons. They put us together for this other for the main roster women's tag titles above other teams, but she says, hey, I was like hesitant to do it, but we were there to represent NXT, so cool. But then that didn't happen because I got hurt during a match, and so she's like, all right, well, now we're this thing. I'm going to carry Nikita through this. Nikita didn't hold up her end. And so now I'm tired of carrying her. I'm on my own, essentially.
Yeah. That explains it. It's such a hard pivot, in terms of like, oh, all of a sudden I fucking hate people. After being like, her whole thing with the EO was like, come on, I want to be friends.
Yeah.
You have somebody now who wants to be your friend, who wants to be like, hey, we're sisters, we're cool, everything's good. Let's persevere together. Nope, I want none of that.
I thought the promo was long, but it was all right until, she started saying, she started doing the you people thing.
She started doing the UP. Yeah, all the people that cheered for me. Who doesn't want people to cheer for them, Larson?
I know.
I want. I love being cheered. Validation's great.
Like, why? It's if you're gonna have her turn, if you're gonna have her turn heel, just make it personal. I was putting this team with Nikita Lyons. Didn't really want to do it, but hey, we're representing NXT on main roster. Cool. I got hurt, so I didn't get that match. We got a title opportunity for the tag titles. All right. Essentially, she was saying, I will my team to victory.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That didn't happen, and she blames Nikita for it. I hit her with the belt. You don't need any of this blaming the fans for any of that.
Well, I think, it wasn't getting like the best reaction. I think they were giving her a couple chants here and there that were just like, I don't know, distracting. So maybe she turned to that. I don't know how much of it is scripted or not, but like maybe she turned to that because she's like, man, I got to get a little bit of the crowd. I got to get that heat. Exactly. I got to get that heat. So anyways, by the end of it, like you said, this is a fairly long thing. And I think that she delivered it to the best of her ability. Yeah. And I appreciate that. I just don't know if it's going to fit with Zoe Stark in general. Sometimes, I don't know, man. Sometimes like vicious heel, like AJ Styles. When he's like mean heel, it kind of doesn't work. When he's snarky funny heel, it's hilarious and it's awesome and it totally does work. Mm-hmm. With Zoe Stark, I don't know if I'm going to believe it. But in any event, she calls out everybody, says, I am the hunter and the rest of you are the prey.
Yep.
By the end of it.
Let's talk about in the share. We got Songa.
My
we
favorite
got
tag team right now.
Fantastic.
These guys are great.
Fantastic.
Dude, and doesn't it just illustrate if you stay away from the stereotypes, if you stay away from turning people into something they're really not, like, dude, I don't want to see these guys as like brainless monsters. I don't need to see Veer out there. Brr. Man, these guys, I get the feeling that when they're chilling in those suits, that's kind of maybe a little bit how they are.
I know. I know.
Like, I don't know if they hang out in suits all day, but it really fits them what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love seeing this. You get multi-dimensions. It's a multi-dimensional act. I love that. It's great.
Yeah, agreed. And it's gonna be interesting to see if they still have a little bit of hesitation in Songa from time to time.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yeah,
as far
absolutely.
as going so far from chill Songa, which we saw for the longest time, to super intense Songa, which we're seeing now with Veer, at least in the ring, because they absolutely crushed. They destroyed George Cannon and Jake Thingado.
This was almost hard to watch at times. Like, it's one thing to have Braun stack a bunch of dudes, but like these guys were fucking wrecking these poor kids.
Yeah, and they were taking their time with it too.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it was all menacing and stuff, and that's what makes it so much more interesting, is to see Songa be everybody's best friend and everybody's and trying to pump everybody up, and now this dude will fucking murder you in the ring. Yeah. That's scary. Yeah. That's some scary ass shit.
It is scary. And they had a solid promo after their bout, pretty much saying, when India, they're treated like celebrities, but here in America, they're not appreciated and they don't get the respect they deserve.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then Songa says, the only way we'll get respect, and unfortunately, since that's the only way we're going to get respect, essentially, is laying people out. And unfortunately, brothers, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah,
well, I like that he said brothers.
Yeah. And it's like the unfortunately bit, it's like, I don't necessarily want to do this, but we have to do this. Yep. All that little bit of compassion that they have to then get through, that's good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Makes all the difference.
It really does. And of course, the Creeds are watching all that happen. They got laid out by Veer and Sangha a couple weeks back, so they're upset about that. They want to have a match with them. So
yeah, and Ivan Niles tried to talk him out of it. She's like, "No, you guys should be focusing on the tag titles," and they're like, "What do you know?"
Yeah, I know,
and it's like she's probably right, dude.
Yeah, just focus on the tag titles.
But I think that's sort of the point, That's sort of the point.
What do you think of? Sorry, what do you think of Javier Bernal's gimmick of wanting to face wrestlers who are not cleared to wrestle?
I loved it. I like this guy. I like him. I think he's got a good future, man. I really do. He's got the charisma. I like him, and I thought that stuff was funny. I thought Mackenzie giving him a lot of shit was hilarious because he just starts like he gets an interview. He's listing off wrestler after wrestler that he wants to fight, and Mackenzie's like, okay, well, what about one of them Gallus guys? Yeah, Gallus boys on top. We'll see about that. And Mackenzie's like, they're all suspended. We have no idea when they're supposed to be coming back. Axiom, he mentions Axiom, Ilya, and she just keeps on shooting him down. And so then he turns it on her. He's like, you're part of the problem from unlocking my potential. But no, I like him. I think the dude's got charisma. I really do.
And then we had the contract signing. Carmelo Hayes.
This is the highlight of the night right here.
Oh, yeah. And Wesley, hosted by Booker T.
Who looked like he was on the verge.
Awesome.
He looked like he was on the verge of either cracking up or whooping everybody's ass.
I know.
He was by the way, Booker T is like one of the top reasons to watch NXT. His commentary has gotten so wonderfully off the rails. Like nobody's checking him. He rarely pays attention to Vic. He's fantastic. It is awesome to see.
It's fantastic.
So yeah, and this was really good. I thought this was good stuff between everybody. But yeah, Booker moderating, and I thought added so much to it. And there wasn't. I mean, there wasn't even anything really new going on here, But it's just all these guys, everybody in this ring, I love. Wes Lee, God bless his soul. I'm so happy to see he could have been in a situation where his tag team, the guy he's been associated with forever now, got taken out of the company. And he'd be drowning. They recognized this guy has everything, and they put that title on him. Carmelo Hayes is doing awesome work. Should be on main roster. Trick Williams doing great work too. I love all these guys.
Yeah, agreed. So that's happening next week, I believe. The North American title match could very well be Carmelo's last match in NXT.
I expect that it's got to be it's going to be soon. They might have him do a whole tour of losses, though. Sometimes they do that in NXT if they're not quite ready on main roster. But I really hope that back when Triple H was running NXT, especially back in like 2016, 2017. Remember when Apollo Crews got called up, and we had read that Triple H had wanted like a 6-month plan for wrestlers before coming up to main. And I hope he sort of institutes something like that where it's like, hey, we have look at Solo Sikoa and how great that's been.
Yeah, it's been really solid.
Had a plan for the guy.
Yeah.
And then that's what I'd like to see for call-ups. And I think Carmelo Hayes, if you treat his call-up right, oh boy.
Oh, it could be huge.
Oh
huge.
Man. I'm talking like Finn Balor, Kevin Owens type call-up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the mid-card feuds going on. We had Briggs and Jensen take on Schism. Kiana James got involved there towards the finish because she really wants to buy Fallon Henley's bar, or more so for the land under the bar. Helped Schism get a win. I see that Grizzled Young Veterans changed their finisher from Ticket to Ride, the Beatles themes move, to just like a double code breaker.
Yeah. Yeah, Ticket to Ride was pretty cool.
It was a cool move.
Ticket to Mayhem, whatever they called it.
Yeah, Ticket to Mayhem is what it was. But yeah, essentially, it was Zach Gibson for a while. A lot of his moves were inspired by Beatles songs.
Right,
from Liverpool.
He loves the Beatles. Big Beatles mark. Hey, you know what? I don't care. They got the win. One step closer to getting that the trust fund that Ava Rain has, the Johnson Family Trust, and Joe Gacy's credit cards. So the grift continues.
The grift continues, indeed. We had Indy Hartwell pretty decisively defeat Tatum Paxley, took off her face mask in the process, and then Roxanne Perez afterwards steps up to her and goes, hey, great win, but did you really have to take the face mask off?
Oh, God, punch Roxanne in the face. What? It's none of your business. None of your business.
It is none of your business, I know.
Yeah, I did have to do that, actually. Yeah.
And that's what Indy says. It's like, would Tatum care about breaking my nose? No. So why should I care about breaking hers? If that's what I got to do to get in this Iron Survivor challenge, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh,
so,
man.
We got 2 video packages too. So we had another one for Dijak.
That's right.
Hard Justice, is that his thing?
Hard Justice, that's right. Yeah, it's a fucking name of like a softcore, man.
Or a Steven Seagal movie.
Or an Impact pay-per-view.
or an Impact pay-per-view. And then we had another one of these scripts things.
Yeah. I think they're supposed to be showing up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, who scripts, man? I thought I had a fucking idea. I think I stole it from Twitter. Somebody on Twitter had a good idea for scripts.
It feels like it's a different voice each time.
Yeah, I think script. Oh, that's just what it was. I think script's going to be a faction.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a guy. It's going to be a faction. It's going to be like they're going to try to redo Retribution, but cooler. But it's going to end up being. Well, that's not actually difficult. The Retribution was so piss poorly done, but so far scripts doesn't seem to be much better.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Hard Justice. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he going to have a badge? Like Herschel Walker's fake sheriff badge?
Oh my gosh. He's going to come to the ring before his matches and to show off his fake badge.
Yeah, that's right. I've done a couple ride-alongs. I claim I'm a writer. Researching a story.
Oh my gosh. Maybe. That'd be something else.
That's right. Hard Justice.
Like, yeah, I'm on the volunteer police force.
I'm the neighborhood watch. PW Unlimited, thank you for the raid. We appreciate it.
I moonlight as a mall cop.
That's right, yeah. I got a segue.
You ever seen the movie Paul Blart? Yeah, it's based on me.
That's me. Only I'm harder. Not as funny.
All right, let's talk about Impact.
Oh, dude, let's get straight to the Overdrive predictions. You had these at the end of the recap. I brought them to the forefront of the recap, man.
Very well. So we got some go-home math here, I think, for basically everything. Well, there's a segment on the show for everything except Heath and Rhino and the major players.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the one I don't remember happening.
That's the one that didn't happen for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump right into it. So then the first match here we got listed, Taurus taking on Trey Miguel. So two things happened on Impact. They were saying that Taurus is on a winning streak, 5 of his last 6, and then Crazy Steve gave him an introduction before his match last night against PJ Black.
Correct.
I'm going Taurus, man. It's about time that Taurus won some gold in Impact. He's been wrestling for him for a while. The confidence point value might change, but I got Taurus with 4 right now.
Wow. Oh, wow. I have Trey Miguel with 4, but that'll probably change because I don't want to be down 4 to you. You're down. Let's see. You are.
I'm down.
You're down
I'm behind you by
Enforcer.
1. I'm behind Enforcer by 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. When you pointed out that Crazy Steve gave him the intro, I'll probably end up. What I'll probably do is go Taurus like 3. I'll go Taurus 3 because that does make sense. I've sort of had that in the back of my head. Like, man, Taurus. Here's the thing about Taurus. He's always there.
Yeah.
He's always there.
And he's always delivered awesome matches. Here's another thing. Trey Miguel, when he was doing his promo last night, was like, oh, my back.
Yeah, he was selling everything. Yeah, he was like, oh, once I go to the back guy to get my back taken care of, oh, I got to be stretched. I'm hurting so bad now. And this guy's got a crazy mask on.
Yep.
And he's got Crazy Steve to do the talking for him. Crazy Steve is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, Crazy Steve is great.
Yeah, he should go to Maine.
Next. Heath and Rhino versus Major Players. I don't know. Major Players 2. I don't know.
I got Heath and Rhino with 3 because I think Cardona's going to go to WWE soon. Not that that's ever stopped Impact. No. He could still be Impact Tag Champion as he's in WWE. But
hold on a second.
Yeah.
What happened last week? What's the date today? I need the 11th.
Remember, they ran off by Heath during a Rhino match, I think. No, during a different match. During whose match? They got ran off by Heath, both of them. No, Heath and Rhino ran them off during somebody else's match. It was during it wasn't Bhupinder's match, was it? I don't know what happened.
I don't remember at all.
I don't know.
When I watch Impact, it's like when I studied for a test in college. I retained the information as long as I needed to, and then once I got done with it, out.
Yeah, and then it's gone. But no, Heath and Rhino ran them off from trying to interfere in a match. That's what I remember.
Okay.
And then this week they were nowhere to be found.
Well, once I find that, once I
I'll be honest with you, dude. I'd be shocked if Cardona was there tonight. I think Myers going to have to find another partner.
That'd be something else.
That's what I think is going to fucking happen.
So Heath and Rhino have a promo. That's backstage, though. No, that wasn't it.
It was somebody's match that I think the Major Brothers had some interest in, and then Heath and Rhino ran them off. That's what happened.
I'll have to look into it some more.
Yeah. After that, we had Mickey. So, yeah, I'll go with Heath and Rhino with 3 on that one. This pay-per-view, by the way, might end up having massive repercussions because Full Gear is so predictable, and I get the feeling Survivor Series will be too.
Exactly. So Mickey James versus Taylor Wilde is Mickey with 7.
Yeah, I got Mickey with 6 because the Josh Alexander one is my 7.
Yeah, that's my 6.
Yeah.
Death Dolls versus Savannah Evans and Tasha Steelz. You go by the go-home math, we're going to have to do Knockouts Tag Champs.
I got Steelz and Evans with 1 here because of what you just said. The go-home totally, yeah. And on top of that, Impact, they do like to, and I know the X Division Championship technically is going to go into new hands, but I think that they're going to do a title change here.
Yeah, I got Steelz and Evans with 3 right now.
Although they might do the thing, you know what? Steelz does not care about losing by DQ. They might do a thing where they push it to the next pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and they have a DQ thing here. But that's why I only have 1.
Is the next pay-per-view, is that going to be Hard to Kill in January? Is there a December show?
Oh, your 1 is on the women's match. Okay. What's that?
Yeah. Is there a pay-per-view in December?
I'm sure there is.
I don't know. I can't think of anything.
There's got to be.
Before Hard to Kill in January. All right, so next we got Bully Ray versus Moose in a tables match. I got Bully with 5, I think.
Yeah, this is whack because Bully Ray's totally going to win this, and he totally shouldn't. But I got Bully Ray with 5, but he's next in line for that title, so they're just going to try to make him look strong, which is silly.
Exactly. And the go-home math favors Bully here. Jordan Grace versus Masha, last woman standing. Who do you got, Steve?
I got 2 on Jordan Grace. I don't think that they're going to do a title change here at this YouTube pay-per-view because nobody's going to be watching it. Yeah. Jordan Grace, I think that they're trying. She's the Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
And I think if this was on like a headlining pay-per-view, I could see maybe. But I also wonder. I was trying to get some info on Masha's contract with Impact. Mm-hmm. She is fantastic. Her charisma is off the charts. I love Jordan Grace, but Masha needs to be in like NXT or something. Like she should really take the next step up in her career because, she's absolutely terrific. But I think also with the last woman standing match, like it's sort of the same thing with Bianca and Bayley. Jordan Grace doesn't have to look terrible to like lose this, but neither does Masha. You know, It's like as long as you escape the other person by keeping him down somehow for 10 seconds, then the other person can still look decent.
Well, here's the other thing, too, is Jordan's thing is it's all about wins and learns.
Yeah, right.
And she still doesn't think Masha learned. And what did Masha say in her interview when asked, how do you react to what Jordan said and your loss? And
all of her answers were, that's a stupid question.
Yeah, she says, that's a stupid question, and it's just one day you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if the story is Masha needs to learn how to be a champion, apparently she hasn't done that yet. And if that's the case, then Jordan's going to get the win. Right now I have Jordan with 1.
I got Jordan with 2 on this one.
And the next one you said Josh 7, right?
Oh, yeah. Josh Alexander versus Kazarian. They already have like several opponents lined up for him after this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Josh Alexander with 7 here.
Yep.
Should be a fun match, though.
Agreed. I have Josh with 6. Impact, another fun show. Had a really fun match between Taurus and PJ Black.
Yeah, it's good that this wasn't on BTI.
Yeah, I know.
Being the Impact.
I know. The main event was tons of fun with Eric Young and Sami Callihan in this double Jeopardy match.
My God.
Bleeding tons.
So much blood in this match. So much blood. Yeah, that was pretty outstanding. Honestly, this should have been on Overdrive.
Yeah, I know. I'm really surprised it isn't.
I wonder if somebody wasn't available for it.
That could be.
Because this was bloody as all get out. Maybe they felt like Moose versus Bully Ray. They wanted to spread out their sort of hardcore matches.
That could be.
Because why? I mean, man, it's a shame that like nobody watches Impact. I don't know what the ratings are like these days, but I think they're probably still hovering around 150,000 on whatever. I wonder what their YouTube numbers are because like we're we're ultimate insiders. You know, we watch that shit on well, I watched it on YouTube. I think you do too.
Yeah,
right?
I do too.
But yeah, no, it's I know. I think their main money comes from international deals, from what I read. So maybe like 1 million people watch this in India or something. You know?
No, that could be. That could be. So we had a Josh Alexander Kazarian contract signing right after the.
This was silly.
Taurus PJ Black. I know it got really chippy for seemingly no reason.
He said, "Tell your wife to be quiet." Basically, he
said
nobody was talking to you. Keep your mouth shut.
That's what Kazarian said to Jade. Josh Alexander's wife.
Chill out, dude. And then afterwards, like, hey man, I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry. Nah, double down afterwards. Be like, hey, did you tell your wife to shut up?
Here's the thing. It quickly pivots from that to, hey, don't trust Bully.
It always goes back around to that. I love that Kazarian literally laughed in fucking Bully's face. He was like, look, Kazarian, if you win this, I'm going to look you right in the, why are you laughing at me? In Kazarian's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But you doing anything, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, scumbag.
You're a scumbag. You don't do anything, honestly. Get out of here with that crap.
Yeah. It's Bully is just exasperated. He just leaves. And
he let out a heavy sigh, put his head down and left.
Yeah.
And he's carrying around that stupid trophy the whole time. We get it. You own the call your shot shit. If you're not going to call your shot today, leave the trophy at home. You don't need to carry it with you everywhere you go.
Well, he could decide to look someone in the eye and call a shot at any time he wants to, Steve.
I know, but he just looks like an idiot carrying that thing around.
I know. He has to carry his gimmick around. I know. So then Kazarian's like, hey, if you don't trust me telling you not to trust Bully, go talk to Dreamer. He says it's Josh Alexander. He'll smarten you up.
Yeah.
Then he says after tomorrow, it might not even matter.
No, yeah. Kazarian says that with the least amount of confidence points in his voice.
Oh, I know. He has 1 confidence point in his own conviction.
Hey, speaking of Tommy Dreamer. Sorry, I got vocal cord problems. Why did he get so much shit in against Macklin?
I don't know.
Macklin should have fucking wiped the floor with this guy.
I know.
Because they're building up Macklin to be like the next big guy against Josh Alexander. You don't do that by having him, have a hard time against Tommy Dreamer.
I know. He should wipe the floor with him. I agree. Absolutely. Didn't happen, unfortunately, though. Yeah. But he got the win, though, at least.
Yeah, he got the win, but still.
He DDT'd him on a couple chairs, so that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Let's dive into it. We had first up. That's my cat.
Barking.
That's my cat. Here, talk about Black Taurus versus PJ Black.
Sure, as mentioned, Crazy Steve gave Taurus an introduction. And then PJ got a bunch of stuff in, hits a bunch of strikes, but Taurus responds with a headbutt and the destination hellhole to get the win. Then we had the Josh Alexander Kazarian contract signing. As mentioned, it got chippy, kind of out of nowhere. So they both signed the deal. They're talking about mutual respect they have for each other as competitors, as human beings. And then Kazarian says, you're confident, Josh. This could be a disappointment to you and your family, what happened. So, but be prepared for that. And then Josh Alexander's wife, Jade, says, our family's been through a roller coaster over the last year. We're prepared for anything. And then it says, you need to prepare yourself for Josh walking out as champ. And that's when Kazarian said, no one was talking to you. Ooh. And Josh is like, no, you don't do that.
That's not cool, man.
And then they get up, they start arguing, and Scott D'Amore's like, hey, save it for tomorrow.
Scott thought he had like a really cordial contract signing. He was almost there. He was like 85% of the way there, and then Kaz told Josh's wife to shut up. That's not cool. It's not cool at Thanksgiving there, Kaz. It's the season, baby. After that, so Josh walks up to Kaz, and he's like, hey, bro, I'm sorry, man. I respect you, Josh. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, that's not going to change. And Bully steps in with his stupid gimmick and says, hey, things have been tense. It's good to see you, Kaz. One of the familiar faces around here. He says, and I'm telling you, if you win, I'm going to call my shot straight up. Honest, look at me. Why are you laughing at me? He says, look, man, I've known you a long time. He says, I've known Bully long enough to trust anything he says. He says, good luck. And then he leaves all sad. And then Kaz tells Josh, he's like, dude, you cannot trust this guy. He's like, dude. He says, it doesn't matter. Why do I have to trust my opponent? None of that matters. He says, I'll always have to look over my shoulder. I don't need everybody telling me who I can trust. Even if Bully is doing things the right way, he's a huge threat. And then he says, look, if you don't believe me, and Josh's like, did you not hear me? It doesn't matter. He's like, no, listen, dude, don't trust him. Go talk to Dreamer. He'll smarten you up. And he's like, bro, I don't fucking care.
But then he does. He goes talks to Dreamer.
Yeah, it's a side mission he had to. He
wanted
to. He wants to. Josh Alexander wants to 100% his title reign, dude.
I guess so. And part of that has helped Bully Ray out, I guess. Then we got a 4-way tag bout. Motor City Machine Guns taking on Bullet Club, taking on Aussie Open, taking on Singh and Shera. Bullet Club gets the win here. Aussie Open has come to Impact and just to take a bunch of L's.
Pretty much. Yeah. They're an excursion, I guess.
Yeah, they take the L here. Chris Bay hits Fletcher with Art of Finesse. Ace follows with the fold to get the win for Bullet Club. You know, whenever I watch Andor now and they're in the prison factory, and the voice comes over the loudspeaker like this.
Yeah, right.
I always think Bullet Club, Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, that poor old man in Andor. I forgot the other day that you're not. What do you?
I just watched that episode last night. I watched that one last night.
What episode 10 was it? 9. Okay. Oh, 10's fun. Oh, you'll like 10. 10's really fun. That poor old man. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Yeah, I just watched 11 last night. It's kind of like, I think, like Calm Before the Storm, because like there's just a lot of like sort of, I don't know, slow reflective moments.
Gotcha. Until things get crazy.
I think things are going to blow up in episode 12. Yeah.
Gotcha. Then we got Rosemary and Taya backstage. Rosemary wants to know where Jessica's at. Taya says, last time I saw her was last week, but I have seen her on TikTok doing some dances. And then she says, well, I spoke to Scott D'Amore. I could take Jessica's place versus Tasha tonight. I promise you, Jessica will be there for a match at Overdrive.
Mm-hmm. After that, we had a Jordan Grace promo. She says, Masha's learned nothing after Bound for Glory. She took weeks off. This is the best you come up with, attacking me after a match. She says, I'm still standing just like I was after Bound for Glory. And if Masha wanted another match, all she had to do was ask. And if she wants to use weapons, that's fine. So she challenges Masha to a last woman standing match at Overdrive.
Then we got Tasha Steelz versus Taya. So Taya's looking for Valhalla finisher. Tasha tries to reverse that into a roll-up. Taya counters with the roll-up of her own to get the win. And then as soon as the bell rings, Tasha blasts Taya from behind. Rosemary gets in the ring. She tries to get Tasha off of Taya. Savannah Evans gets in the ring, and they're all brawling. Eventually, Tasha and Savannah get the advantage. Jessica comes to the ring to make the save.
She has one of those
beer helmets on.
Yeah, beer helmet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
After that, Josh does in fact go to Tommy Dreamer. He's like, I got nothing better to do. He's like, hey man, he says, I feel like I can trust you. You're cool. What are your thoughts? Give me all information pertaining to Bully Ray. And Tommy says, he left Impact on a bad note, but he's trying to change a perception of himself. He's changed. I trust him. And you can trust me too, Josh.
That sounds like really bad advice from Tommy Dreamer. I'm gonna be honest.
Tommy Dreamer cannot be trusted at all. I don't think that's the case. I think Josh needs to not trust him. But in the end, it doesn't matter.
DTA, Josh. DTA.
Yeah, DTA next match. Yeah, Josh should put these guys both in ankle locks, to be honest with you.
Really? Same time, yeah.
Same time, yeah.
Double
they
C-force.
Should be able to. They're so old.
I know. Then we got a Trey Miguel promo from last week. He says, I don't know if Kenny King was trying to send a message to me or Speedball, but he says, oh, my back hurts.
Oh.
Got to get that worked on. Next match is X Division title. I planned on taking back what's mine. Ow.
Yeah. Ah, my back. Oh, Taurus. After that, we had Steve Macklin versus Tommy Dreamer. Like I said earlier, Tommy Dreamer got way too much shit in on this. This is a tables match, right?
No, it was an old school rules match.
Oh, yeah, it was an old school rules match, which meant there was like basically no rules. Yeah, no DQ.
Yeah, well, if there's old school rules, it should be like 2 hours long.
Shit, 5 hours long. Those matches used to go. Yeah. So, like, how old school are we talking here?
I know.
We talking about the Farmer Burns days? It's like 5 hour,
Just a bunch of collar and elbow.
Right. Old timey match.
Yep. Anyways, Macklin got the win here. Hitting a DDT on a pile of chairs, and then he's about to blast Dreamer in the head with a chair. Bully Ray comes to the ring to make the save. Moose runs in, starts stomping on Bully. Macklin and Moose are about to put Bully through a table when Josh Alexander comes to the ring and starts suplexing everybody.
Yeah, right.
Except for Bully, making the save for Bully. So Bully picks up the belt, and he's like, kind of standing behind Josh. You're like, oh, is he going to blast Josh with it? No. Instead, Bully and Josh put Macklin through a table. So then Bully picks up the title. Josh picks up the trophy. Well, Josh's like, here, Bully, have your trophy back. Well, for a moment, Bully's like, I'm not giving you the belt. He's got both of them.
Yeah.
And then eventually he just hands Josh the belt.
Yeah. Having a hard time playing it straight. Running it straight. Where's Zion Quinn been?
Not on TV.
Oh, I miss him. After that, this was great. This was fucking awesome. Masha Slamovich interview. And she was asked, was that first loss unexpected? And Masha answers everything in Russian. And she says, and basically she spends the entire time berating the interviewer. She says, that's a question a little girl would ask. I've been here a year and I've beat everybody. And you ask me about a single loss? She says, one day, so forget about it. And then Gia asks, well, where have you been? She says, that's another question only an idiot would ask. You're not a fighter. You wouldn't understand what it takes for a fighter to win. You don't know what I needed to do. And then she says, what do you expect coming out of your match against Grace? And Masha just says, death.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's fucking cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. Then we had Laredo Kid versus Rich Swann. Rich Swann got the win here with the 450 off the second rope.
Mm-hmm.
We're backstage. Mickey James walks up to Taylor Wilde and says, hey, I'm really excited about our match, but last week I asked you, don't come ringside for my bout against Chelsea Green, and you did. And Taylor says, well, yeah, because I didn't want you to lose because Deonna Purrazzo would interfere and cost you your career. I wanted you to win based on your own merits, not interference.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And Mickey was like, why wouldn't she say, oh, okay, cool, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Instead, she goes, oh, is that all that was?
Yeah.
And then Taylor goes, yeah, because if anybody's going to end your career, it's going to be me.
Yeah, and then she walks out. She walks away like a stud. That's what I'd be doing. I'm like, why the fuck do you think I want to have this match with you? I want to be the one to put you down. I want that. That's a pretty big deal. That's better than a title.
Yeah.
Retiring Mickey James. Like, what do you think? This is fun? You think I'm going to lose to you? No, man. I'm a fighter. I'm looking to win.
I mean, Taylor Wilde is going to lose to Mickey James. But I get
totally going to lose all confidence points, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like in terms of this, I'd be like, well, if I didn't come out there, you were going to lose and I wouldn't get my match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
I know we're doing two boats in the passing and two ships passing in the night. No, one of these ships is going to sink the other one, dude. And that's the ship with the USS Wild, okay? Anyways. After that, we had a video package for Kazarian versus Alexander. And then we had a bloodbath.
Oh, gosh.
Eric Young versus Sami Callihan. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let's see how much blood we can spill in this ring.
A ton.
So
Callihan got busted open during his entrance. He's making his entrance. He's like mid thumbs up, thumbs down.
That's true,
and then the rest of Violent by Design just destroy him on the ramp.
Yeah.
You have Khan, you have Alan Angels. They annihilate him on the ranch. And so Sammy's like stumbling down the ramp to try to get to the ring, and he's already bleeding a ton.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's funny because like Sammy is busted open in like an impactful, dramatic way. Mm-hmm. And then Eric Young apparently gets busted open after Sammy bites his head and takes a DVD on the apron. Like the impact on the back from the Death Valley driver was so...
Yeah.
It is the hardest part of the ring, you know.
It is, yeah.
It sends shockwaves through his system and caused a wound to open up on his head.
I just love how this, like, Sammy just kept, for the finish, he just kept spamming the fucking hit Eric Young in the head with a trash can lid button.
Yeah.
Just over and over again. Whoop-ah, 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 whoop-ah. And then hits another Cactus Driver to get the win. But this match was fucking awesome, man. This match was awesome.
All right, so over here in YouTube chat, Zachary Crane says it's sacrifice, 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 sacrifice.
In December. Okay, thank you very much, Zachary. We appreciate it. Let's answer some questions before we get to, because some people, they're not huge on listening. Maybe they just don't like the awkward tension between you and Paul. I don't know what it is. But
I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I know you feel it first and foremost. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and reload this sumbitch. Let's see here. We've got some questions, and we're going to answer them. If YouTube chat has some questions, load up those super chats. Twitch,
yes,
you know
please.
what to do. Hi May says, who from NXT would be better served in Impact and vice versa? So I would love to see Masha go to NXT. I think if they want to reload with like wrestlers with some experience and have built up a name for themselves, I'd love to see her out in the crowd for like, I don't know, at Stand and Deliver or Deadline or some shit. I don't know.
Okay, so sorry, I'm looking at Impact's thing. Apparently, Sacrifice is in March.
Oh,
It's the only thing they have listed after Overdrive is something called Throwback Throwdown 3.
Is that when they do like the retro thing?
That could be.
Okay.
That kind of seems non-canon, though.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Yeah.
I remember seeing the ads for Sacrifice, but anyways.
Let's see here. So, who from NXT would be better served in Impact? Axiom.
Yeah.
Axiom.
Oh, yeah. Imagine A-Kid in the X Division.
Yeah. And maybe like Nathan Frazier. I know he's injured right now. I think they got plans for Nathan Frazier. But Axiom and Nathan Frazier for sure. Yeah.
They need to get that mask off of Axiom. Just let him be A-Kid.
Oh, I agree. I agree 1,000%.
Let him be A-Kid. Yeah. He's great.
Let's see here. Blake Whitehouse, should FTR have a run in Impact? No. Well, I don't know. They're doing the whole tour thing.
Another set of tag titles they could win there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like
know
that.
they've had a match with Motor City Machine Guns, but it wasn't just a 2-on-2 tag match. It was the 6-man tag.
Yeah.
Have matches with them and Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Chris Bay.
There's a lot of really good tag teams at Impact. It'd be cool if they got like a 3-month run at Impact, and
I'd be
face
down
some of
for
those
that.
teams.
I'd be down.
It'd be pretty awesome.
Alex Foster says, at this point, would you guys be okay if Apollo dethroned Braun Breaker? He says, with every match I see of him lately, I keep forgetting how good he is. So I love Apollo Crews. I think he's great. I don't really think it would benefit anybody for him to be NXT champion.
I think if the story was right, it could be awesome. But the story they're doing now isn't that story. If there was, like the vision stuff at first, I was like, okay, this is interesting. But then once anybody on the show could see his visions, like lost me because that shouldn't be possible.
I thought it was funny from the get-go. Like the thing where you go into I thought it was good fodder for us to talk shit.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it for me. And then it jumped a shark once, once Grayson Waller was able to see it too.
Yeah, no. At that point, it makes zero sense. And they kind of lost me with the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the right story, absolutely. It could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd like somebody who's going to be like a Carmelo Hayes, like a future guy, like somebody who really could use, because Apollo's already won like the Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a step down for him to do that. I'd rather see it be somebody who, I don't even really want it to be like Ilya or JD. I don't want it to be any of those guys. Like I feel like it's a step down. Give it to somebody like a Carmelo Hayes, somebody like that. Or a Von Wagner. Or Joe Blow. Joe Blow.
Wagner. Not Joe Blow. Joe Blow's not
Joe
a wrestler.
Blow. Yeah.
Nikyle is asking, why is WWE not using Saray, Mako Satomura, and Blair Davenport on NXT? It could be Visa.
Yeah, I've seen some people in chat mention Visa issues. I don't know. My cat keeps on barking today.
I don't know
why. She shouldn't even be in here. I told her to get out, and then she barks at me. Yeah, she's out of control.
Apparently.
Cameron Bartolazzo says, basically Survivor Iron Man match is a championship scramble combined with Iron Man. What two matches would you combine to make one clusterfuck?
Inferno match and Beat the Clock challenge.
I would go Inferno match and Royal Rumble.
All right.
Because
everybody's tossed over the top rope and you're going to go right.
Everybody's like, how many? You can't like, what is it called? Skin the cat. You can't do the road dog thing and hold on to the rope. Nope. That's brilliant.
Fire's right there.
That's fucking brilliant. I'll be honest with you. That's brilliant.
That's good. Yeah. Luis Ariza says, what are some underutilized talent in NXT? How would you incorporate them? Axiom's underutilized. Get that mask off him. Get the mask off him. I know he's on TV regularly, put on awesome matches, but you could be doing so much more with A-Kid.
Mm-hmm, yeah. No, I agree, man. I agree. All right, dude. He's been waiting patiently for like 3 minutes now.
All right. Very well.
I've got a lot of paperwork to do right here.
All right, just pay your damn parking tickets and get it over with so you can actually help me with this.
Just covered California stuff now. That's always confusing.
I think it's so easy now, though.
I've got. Oh man, it's so
Literally,
hard.
you don't have to do anything, and they'll just give you the same thing you have.
Read some literature here. You know, I got a lot.
Any excuse not to do this.
I got a lot on my mind.
No, I don't think you really
right
do.
Here. It's just so much. You don't.
Just because your desk is messy doesn't mean you have a lot going on, Steve.
It is very messy. Anyways. Here he comes. Here he is. It's time for a Smackdown preview with Triple H, everybody.
All right.
Here we go. Load up your super chats here for Triple H. If you want to ask a question to Triple H, super chat that shit. Here we go. Ding ding. Hello. Hey. Hello.
Hi, Triple H. How are you?
Hello. I'm not happy about this.
What's going on?
I'm over it. We got Full Gear tomorrow. I got my giant cup of water here, and I got to be here with Steve.
Well, we'll try to make this as easy on you as we can, okay?
What? Don't treat me with kid gloves. What the hell? Do you want to get on my even worse side? You're already on my bad side.
Do you want to sing the DX thing? Will that cheer you up?
Don't interrupt me. No, that won't even cheer me up. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try it.
Dun 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 dun.
Doing nothing. Doing nothing
for
me.
What about
How does that one go again? Listen, let's just get into the Smackdown preview because I'm in a bad mood today.
All right, I'm sorry to hear that. What's the first thing we can expect?
Every day is Monday for me, and I was hoping to enjoy the weekend, but every day is Monday.
I hear that.
It's Friday. Don't interrupt me. You've already done it 3 times already, and I'm in a bad mood.
All right, what can we expect on SmackDown tonight, Triple H?
Pete Dunne and Sami Zayn are gonna duke it out in SmackDown. My cat just farted.
Oh, wow.
God, that smells like diarrhea.
Oh.
God damn, that is nasty. Anyways, Butch and Sami Zayn are going to fight in the SmackDown World Cup on Fox first round match. Welcome to Fox.
That should be great.
Nah, that should be a good match. Pete Dunne, Sami Zayn, that's a dream match. Can't wait to see it happen on the SmackDown World Cup. Break it down.
Oh, break it down. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, so who do you got? Are you guys going to watch Full Gear?
Well, yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's our jobs to cover.
You like pissant companies? I saw you guys did predictions. I think it's going to be a pissant pay-per-view. It's very predictable.
Are you going to watch it?
Am I going to? No, of course not. It's trash. I don't keep up with the competition. I don't know what they're doing over there. I'm going to try to sign Phil, though.
Oh, really? You're going to try to sign CM Punk? That's breaking news.
No, not CM Punk. I said Phil.
Oh, sorry.
Phil
Brooks?
Phil Mickelson.
The golfer?
Yeah, that's right. We had so much success with Logan Paul that now we're gonna sign some golfers.
All right.
Ricochet and Mustafa Ali, don't interrupt, to collide in SmackDown World Cup first round clash. Hey, I've got breaking news.
Oh, yes.
Larson has and I have come to an agreement on your new merch shop.
Oh.
We've got a new shirt, and it's me, and it says "Don't interrupt the game."
Oh.
And I want you to wear it, and every time you are thinking of interrupting me, I want you to look down at your shirt and read the shirt. It says "Don't interrupt the game." I bet you thought last time everything was looking up for us, didn't you? You were wrong. I know the truth. I know what you did. I heard what you said about me.
What did I say?
Not very happy about it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm not going to repeat it.
What did I say?
You could find out on Monday. I'll reveal it on Monday right here on the show.
Oh my goodness.
And then we also have Shotzi is going to seek a monumental win against Shayna Baszler. I love Shotzi, but guess what? She's going to get choked out tonight. Break it down.
Dun, 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 dun,
got a new shirt here at Goated Raw, and I know the truth about you, Larson. I'm going to reveal it here on Monday.
Did you just call me Larson?
No, I meant the other guy, Steve. No, shit. Wait, you're Steve, and he's Larson.
No, I'm actually Larson.
You got me so in the feels right now. You got me so in the wood.
Well, here, let's do this.
You know why? Because Twitter's going down the tubes. It's going to take away from our social engagements. Jabroni Mark, Elon Musk working himself into a shoot.
Well, hey, I got a good idea of how we can end the show on a positive note and get you feeling some good vibes for the weekend.
Yeah, all right. I want some Cheerios.
Cheerios are good. How about this?
They're great.
Let's sing X-Pac's theme. Sorry, X Factor. Dealing with the X Factor.
Go ahead, got everything I ever wanted because I got a sledgehammer when you're dealing with the X Factor.
Awesome.
It's not as cool as my theme, though. They really shit the bed with that X Factor theme.
It's mellow.
Remember the Matt Bloom? He was the guy who had piercings in his dick. We named him after a dick piercing. That was Dad's idea.
Yeah, that's Attitude Era stuff, yeah.
He was like, wait, people put those things in their dicks? And then he farted and laughed. Anyways, that's it. I got to go. I didn't even want to be here in the first place. Larson's doing a lot of paperwork right now, so I'm just sort of stretching so he has time to do that. I'm trying to be nice to Larson because he had that cool shirt. But I don't know what you bring to the situation.
Some days I don't either. Thank you, Triple H.
All right,
have a good weekend.
No, I say goodbye. You don't cut me off. You don't wind me down. I'll wind you up with the pedigree. So how'd it go?
He wasn't in a good mood today.
What? It's Friday. Who's not in a good mood on a Friday?
Apparently Triple H is. Maybe he's got nerves or some sort of anxiety about Full Gear being on. I don't know.
Oh, did he talk about Full Gear? He talked about he brought it up.
Yeah.
What did you say? Did you say that it was it? Did you even say that we watch it? Because you shouldn't tell him that.
Well, he asked.
Did you say that we're not going to watch it because it's
no? He asked if we were going to watch it. It's like, well, it's our job to cover wrestling.
Oh no, he thinks it's our job to cover WWE.
Well,
yeah.
He did call me Larson at one point, so I thought we were on the right track. But then
he's probably just confused.
Evidently, yes.
He probably didn't have something prepared today, so he was winging it. It's happened sometimes.
And everybody has off days, you know.
Did you hear? We got a new merch shop coming up. I think we're going to unveil it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So that's exciting stuff.
Uh-huh.
So anyways, yeah, this is a long weekend, man. We got I think I've got a little bit of not nerves necessarily, but it seems
anxiety.
It's like, oh man, I got to get through it. I got to power through, but I got to do good. We got to do good.
Yeah, we can't just cruise.
Can't just cruise. A big weekend.
It is.
So tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, across all platforms, we're going to be hanging out, watching some wrestling. Hopefully you guys will join us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye, everybody.
Do 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 do.